Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? I hope you're warm and well because I don't know about you, but it's a little chilly where I live right now, which is not the norm to be this chilly. So as you get here, say hello and let me know that you're here. All right, and let me pull this up on my phone. And let me know that you're here. There we go. One more thing. Beautiful. All right. So, like I said, I hope it's nice and warm where you are, or at least in your home is nice and warm because I'm telling you, when I went and walked the dog this morning, it was 14 degrees. And I don't even remember what the wind chill was, but that is not typical for Georgia, I will say. And so I was feeling it, but luckily I had plenty of clothes on and hats and gloves. And so one of the things that, I talk about all the time is to be grateful for the fact that you woke up, and what other things can you be grateful for? So this morning, I will say that while I was getting dressed to take the dog out, I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's so cold, because I looked to see what the temperature was to see how much clothing I needed to put on. And then I was thinking, oh, I wish it wasn't this cold. And then I thought, wait a minute. But there are things to be grateful for. This kind of cold is one of the things that kills some of those bugs that are going to be a problem in the summer, right? It makes it where they're not so populated, you know. So natural selection, right? But the other thing was, I had some of these clothes that most of the time, that several times I've started to get rid of them because I thought I hardly ever have to wear these, but it's like they're lined and they're like for 0 degrees. And, how often do I wear them? Maybe once or twice a year at that, right? But I still had them. I never got rid of them. I had them in the closet. I pulled them out. So I was able to get up and physically walk, right? Bonus. And then I had the clothing to make me comfortable in the walk. Bless the little dog's heart. He had on a little sweater and everything, but he was visibly shaking in the whole process. So luckily on that, it didn't take him a long time to get his job done so we could get back in the house. And then it was gloriously warm. So I'm grateful for all of that, right? And so, sometimes we can catch ourselves and mentally going down this list of things that are not comfortable are the things that we wish were different. Like I did first thing this morning about the cold, but then I went and reframed it to a list of things that I had bonuses that helped me to go out in that temperature without it being uncomfortable. So just saying, sometimes we have to reframe what our thoughts are. And so it's really important for us to remember to do that. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get started with our affirmation. Hold on. All right, give me just a second. All right. So our affirmation for today is, I am the conscious creator of my reality, and as my inner beliefs transform, my outer world naturally reflects this evolution. And I will say, this whole affirmation started this morning because I was thinking about, our reality is shaped by the things that we say, we do, right? But we are saying and doing all these things depending on what our belief is about who we are, not who we want to be, but who we actually feel that we are deep inside. And, I've talked about the emotional thermostat, the financial thermostat, the relationship thermostat, right? Because we have a little thermostat within us that lets us know what our normal range is. So when it comes to money, it's a lot easier to look at. But it happens in relationships too. So if you're a person that has been in a lot of different relationships, and then it seems amazing in the beginning, but as the relationship goes out, all of a sudden it becomes it's the same thing every single time, maybe a little bit different, but the same feel about it every single time, is because deep down you have a thermostat that is what your thermostat is set at. And so no matter how amazing someone seems, it is someone that is going to fulfill that thermostat for you. And that's why sometimes relationships that you think are going to be great don't work out, because you will sabotage things like crazy because your thermostat is set where that person won't work. They won't push your buttons and do all the trigger things that will put you back into that same place. So then when we look at money, we have a thermostat that's set at the most we've ever made in our life is $100,000. And so that's obviously our thermostat, right? So no matter what happens, we win the lottery and we get millions of dollars, we're going to do all kinds of self-sabotage to fulfill that thing where we only get $100,000 a year. So if they were to break it into yearly income and that was $100,000, you might manage that one, right? But the thing that happens is, like, you get this big raise at work or this big bonus. Because I knew someone, I'll just share. I used to know someone that her husband had an amazing idea at work. And I think he was an engineer, but I can't remember. It's been a long time. But anyway, he had this amazing idea at work, and he shared it with some of the higher ups, and they adopted that idea that he had. And that idea helped the company so much that they gave him a bonus at the end of the year that was like $75,000 or something like that. It might have even been more, because it really did something huge in that company. Goes to show ideas are important. You need to share them, right? But the thing is that they had a really good financial thermostat. And so they did fine with it. They invested, they did a lot of things. But someone who doesn't have a good financial thermostat has this epiphany, this amazing idea. They share it, which a lot of times they won't share it because they have this belief in them that they shouldn't. But so let's just say, for kicks and giggles, they share the idea, the company expands, they are so appreciative. They give the person this huge bonus at the end of the year. Now, the thing that's going to happen for that person, it might not happen immediately, but soon after, they're going to start having things break down, things tear up. There's going to be somebody in their family or something that needs all that money. There's going to be something that happens that they do not invest that money. They do not use that money in the way that they thought so, because they have this financial thermostat that keeps them from utilizing it in that way. So, reason I'm saying this is because I want us to be more of a conscious creator, right? Because most of the time, a lot of our creation is not happening consciously. It is happening subconsciously. Our inner beliefs take over, and we make decisions. Like I said, that one person that has a lower thermostat might not even utilize that idea to help the company because they don't value their own ideas. So I'd like to ask you, is there an idea that's been coming up within you that maybe you think, oh, that's a really cool idea, but you kind of slide it under the rug because, heaven forbid, it be something really big and become successful, and then you've outdone your thermostat, and then you have to get back. So let's be a conscious creator. of our reality. We choose, right? And so, one of the best things that you can do for yourself, we do the affirmations and journal prompts every morning, right? Or every day. Hello over on Instagram. Thank you for being here. So go ahead and say hello and share in the conversation if you'd like. But either way, I appreciate you being here. And so while I'm thinking about it, anybody that is here, please, everybody that is here, not just anybody, everybody that is here, please say hello in the comments and speak up and share in the conversation. But if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay and then share in the conversation as well. So our inner beliefs transform our outer world. But our inner beliefs have been something that has been coming from when we were tiny. A lot of our inner beliefs are between the ages of birth and 7. And so just think about if you have children or when you've had children that were younger, would you have wanted to put your 7-year-old in charge of your life? Hell no, right? But a lot of times that's who's back there in that subconscious area. That's the one that is running the show. And that's why we make some of the craziest decisions when it comes to our life. So let's look at what our beliefs are. And like I said, I got a little sidetracked, but we do the affirmation and the journal prompts every day, right? And so utilize this information and start journaling every day. Even if you're not a journaler, let's call it something else. Let's start investigating our lives. Let's start investigating our heart, who we are. Let's start investigating what our thermostat is. So maybe it is, there used to be there was some kind of little show that my daughter used to watch, and it was when she was little, and he had the handy dandy notebook. That's all I remember. But it was where they would write things down all the time, right? So let's create your handy dandy notebook and you start noting things in there every day as things come up for you. What are some of the beliefs that you have about yourself? Because they're going to pop in every now and then, right? They pop in a lot more than every now and then, but it's that voice in your head that's talking to you all the time. And remember, one of my favorite books is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he talks a lot about that inner dialogue. And I think that's why I love the book so much, because it really, really expands your ideas about what that dialogue is and where it comes from. But so get your handy dandy notebook out as often as you can and just write what's going on for you. Just throw some words in there. It doesn't have to make sense in the moment. It doesn't have to be about anything that's going on. You're not notating what you're doing in your day. You're just putting your thoughts. So that's a little bit different than saying, well, today I went to work and this happened and that happened. And no, that's not what we're doing. Our handy dandy notebook is about the thoughts and the feelings that are coming up as we're going through our day. And so let's just say, for instance, that you get off this Zoom or this live, and you go into a room and suddenly, for whatever reason, you're feeling a little bit happy. It's like, I don't know why I'm so happy right now, but I'm happy. And you just start writing a little bit about that. Right now, for whatever reason, I feel happy. And when I feel happy, it makes me think of this and this and this and this. But then let's say on the other end, you are going about your day and you get on a phone call, and for some reason you got this feeling in the pit of your stomach that's like, I don't know, should I be even having this conversation with this person? Should I even pick up the phone? Should I call? Write that down too. I'm feeling all this anxiety for whatever reason about this, and this is what's happening. Start logging what's going on inside, not what's going on out there. But you tie it to it a little bit, because those are triggers. and start seeing how this handy dandy notebook can help you start seeing what those inner beliefs are that you have in your world, inside you, because everything is an inside job. So if you want all of this to change, it starts in here. So I am, and remember, I am statements. Anything that comes after the words I am are ultra powerful, ultra powerful. You're claiming that it's true. I am naturally the conscious creator of my reality. And as my inner beliefs transform, my outer world naturally reflects this evolution. My outer world. Hello, Sandra. Hello. Good to see you here. So your outer world naturally reflects the evolution. It reflects of who you think you are now. But as you expand that out and change those inner beliefs, it has no choice but to change as you do. It doesn't happen the other way around. A lot of people think, well, once I get that house and I get the extra money in the bank and I get this and I get that, then this is what my life's going to look like. That ain't the way it works, because no matter what, all of that changes and you haven't changed this, it's going to change back. It's not going to stay there. So take control of what your inner beliefs are. And if you need help with that, reach out, because I love working with that, right? So let's go ahead and grab the journal prompt. Let's see, will it all show up? Interesting. All right, so our journal prompt for today is, if your life right now was a movie title and you're the main character, what would it be called? If your life right now was a movie, what's the title about the main character, you? What would it be called? I'd love to know. What would it be called? And what hidden beliefs about yourself might have unconsciously directed this show? Because your unconscious beliefs always direct your show. They are the director, the producer, the whole thing. They're the crew in the back. They're the ones that set up the stage. Everything, right? It's writing the show. It's actually helping you get the other characters in the show. They come from all those unconscious limiting beliefs, hidden beliefs too. Everything that's going on is happening to fulfill your movie of who you believe you are and what you believe you're capable of. So maybe it's time to start writing another show, right? But how do we do that? First thing we do is start recognizing, like this, what is going on? What are these beliefs? Because like I said, most of them are hidden underneath. And it takes a little self-reflection and some effort. And sometimes it is impossible. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes it is a lot more difficult to do for yourself. Have you ever noticed that it's so easy to tell somebody else what to do than it is to take the advice yourself? Is that true for you? It's always been true for me, because we don't see our own blind spots. We don't see what other people see. And so sometimes, you can do something on your own and you can make it work. However, most of the time, those things, it feels better in the moment and it gets better, but then you slide back because you didn't get the underneath. It's like, let's say, for instance, like you've got some mold in your house. Okay, you got some mold. You've done a test, and you can see the little petri dishes, and there's mold in there, and you know what it is and everything. So you hire someone, or you think you're going to hire someone to come and take care of the mold, but you think, oh no, I think I can do this. I can do this. And so you pull out the carpet, you start doing all these different cleaners and stuff, and you do really good. The mold appears to be gone. But then what happens when you didn't take care of whatever was causing the mold, the water that was getting in the house? It's just going to come right back. And then you have to do it again. And then it's going to come back and you have to do it again. So what we want to do in our lives is not only find that mold, but we want to find out, where is it coming from, so that we can fix it, so that we can repair whatever needs to be repaired. And as a transformational coach and a hypnotist, I help people with this all the time. I actually had a client one time that this is the only time it's happened, but I thought it's interesting to think about. She and I had a conversation. She wanted to hire me to help her, and she decided in the conversation that I was so helpful in the conversation that she thought, I got this. I'll do this on my own. I said, okay. So she decided to do it on her own, and we kept in contact. 3 years later, she reaches out to me and she says, hey, when I said I could do this on my own? I said, yeah. She said, well, I've really tried, but it just keeps happening. And so I've decided the only way this is going to work is if I go ahead and hire you. I said, okay. So she signed on. We worked together for a year, and she had massive impact in her world in that year. And then even today, and it's been several years back that this occurred with working with her for that year, that I still keep in touch with her, and she's doing amazing. All the things that we had worked on have all come to fruition, and she is continually doing better and better. But she always knows, if you ever have this feeling that maybe you're sliding, or maybe there's something new that's showing up that we need to work on, just reach back out. But I keep in contact with her just to make sure she's still doing okay. But the thing is, it took her 3 years of struggle to finally say, let me do this. And one of the things she said was, I wish I had went ahead and done this 3 years ago, and I wouldn't have all this other 3 years worth of stuff to go through. And so I'm just saying, sometimes it takes another person helping you. And if you need that help, definitely let me know. Put a me in the comments if you want to do that, or you can send me a direct message. But I'm telling you, this is doable. It is very doable, but you got to start. Let me see here. Okay, Sandra, I see. You're at work. Well, thank you for being here anyway. I appreciate you. And if you want to pop in later and share something, that would be great. All right, so I'm going to go back to the affirmation. I am the conscious creator of my reality. And as my inner beliefs transform, my outer world naturally reflects this evolution. So put that on your screensaver on your phone, your index card, the sticky notes, put it on a note on your fridge, put it somewhere that you're going to see it today, so that you are reminded that it is you that is creating your reality. Most of the time, it's by default. It's just you're floating around and you're just doing things, right? But we are now conscious of this, and we're making conscious decisions for our world. But it is based on our inner beliefs. So we are consciously focused on uncovering those inner beliefs so that we can change them. You don't know what you don't know, right? So it's time to get into knowing. and discovering. Get out your handy dandy notebook and start writing out the things that are going on in your mind, in your inner dialogue. And then you could even how it's reflecting in the world. But we really want this to be the inner dialogue, right? And then our journal prompt. Get out your journal, your notebook, put the affirmation, the journal prompt, and the date, because you want to be able to come back later and see what has changed for you and celebrate what has changed for you, especially when it comes to these inner beliefs, right? So your journal prompt for today is, if your life right now was a movie, what's the title? The main character is you. So what is the title about the main character, you? What would it be called? And what hidden beliefs about yourself might have unconsciously directed this show? Because, like I said, it is the writer, the director, the cast director. It is the your outfits, whatever the hell. It's all there. It's taking care of everything. Grandly or not so grandly. So what's directing your show? Remember, I said most of our limiting beliefs do start between the ages of 0 and 7, and then we expand on them from there. So just think of your 7-year-old self telling you, giving you advice, helping you with relationships, helping you with business. That just seems ridiculous, right? But it's a lot of what's going on. But you can fix that. You can change that. It's not necessarily a fixing, because you're not broken. You're just running on a belief that doesn't serve you anymore. And you're allowing this old belief about you direct your life. So let's change that. So you have an amazing day today. Get out with your handy dandy notebook, writing out your thoughts and your feelings that you have today, and utilize that information to change your world. And if you need my help, let me know. I'm here for you. So today is Friday, which it's like the week has just flown by. Tomorrow's Saturday. So really spend some time today getting the underneath, and just see what you can find. It's a treasure map, trying to dig through to find what's really going on, who this director is. And you probably have more than one. So have an amazing day with your handy dandy notebook, and get in touch with what's really going on. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Love you guys.